10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2.
Drag racing fan, Power Hour is live once again here on Tuesday nights. We're going to talk all about the world of drag racing. There was a plenty of it done this past weekend. We've got a lot to look forward ahead of this weekend. We've got two great guests lined up. Our insider, Bobby Bennett, and along with me co-hosting Slammin' Sam. Sam, what's
going on?
That drag racing just had, man.
Hey, man. Lee, I still have tried to find my picks of last weekend. I don't think I did too hot, or I didn't think I did too bad. But you know what? Drag racing's still alive. We've said it over and over and over. People can hate. They can say whatever they want about it. But drag racing is alive. It's doing well. And, you know, via what I've seen of hate mail over the, Facebook keyboard warriors that we have in drag racing, all I can say is people are still talking and we're still putting on great performances.
So many drag races were such great events this past weekend. And yes, certainly we're going to talk about the NHRA national event. But Sam, I don't think the average drag racing fan, maybe someone who just follows NHRA, realize that if you started from Bristol, Tennessee, you could go all the way in the country's heartland and find a major drag race somewhere. You could leave Bristol, Tennessee, go to Bowling Green, Kentucky to the Heritage Series. You could leave Kentucky and go into Illinois for Cordova and Funny Car Chaos and their Summer Nationals. And then you could go on down the road again and be there at Worldwide Technologies Raceway with the Midwest Drag Racing Series. Drag racing was alive and well last week. I know Golfstar, a fellow YouTuber, he had a big 3 days of bracket racing at Eddyville Raceway there in Iowa. Drag racing was everywhere, and it was alive and well, like you said.
Hey, whoa. And then if you came to the great Midwest, way up here yonder, we had some racing right across the road in Minnesota too. I mean, you can't forget about that. I mean, there was racing, like you said, across. You could take off and go any which way you wanted to go and have some racing. And I mean, like I said, Lee, so much to dive into, so much to talk about. I don't know where you want to start. There's a lot. There's just a lot to cover. So I know you were at in Cordova with the Chaos group. How was that performance?
Well, I do want to start there because out of all of the races this weekend, and this is confirmed from Brett Kettner, it was actually the one that made history because for the first time in apparently eliminations, qualified and eliminations, not just match races, not just showcasing, but in eliminations, we had 4-5 Jet Funny cars. They all made the B field except for one, I believe, in the C field. And yes, they duked it out against their piston-powered brethren with the fantastic plastic bodies. And we did actually have the Black Pearl make it to the final round against Team Brutus, piloted by Chris Schneider. So a Jet Funny car did make it to the final round. It was a show that so many people you could see on Facebook and you could see elsewhere before this was implemented and before it went down. Oh, you can't do that. Oh, this can never happen. Oh, this is going to be a blank show. And that's not the response of folks leaving Cordova. It was, we had fun. We had a blast. This was great. We need to do it again. And it worked. So misconceptions, at least for the modern day jet cars, they apparently don't leave much of a film on the track. And you had piston power cars going down the lanes after jet cars did run. There was cleanup at times for Jet Funny cars, no different than nitro cars or methanol cars. Just the mop was brought out with some acetone thrown on the track. Big deal. That happens with pro mods and funny cars and Top Fuel and Top Sportsman and any other class out there in
Pro
drag
stock
racing. Pro stock,
stock.
yes, right. So it was tremendous to be at such a historical facility that has been in operation since the mid-50s, to see it have a resurgence, because apparently it had gone down. Well, it's back up now. It looked great. It was a good-looking facility, historic facility, and it made its mark on history once again with this jet funny cars versus piston-powered funny cars. But at the end of the day, it was the piston-powered funny cars taking the win in each field, the A, B, and C fields. There, the Summer Nationals presented by Twisted Shifters 360 Steel at Cordova International Raceway.
Yeah, and I mean, from the clips that I saw and the times that I got to tune in when I wasn't hanging out with the boys, or they were down for naps and I could catch some, quiet time and some drag racing, definitely got to do that. And it just looked like everyone was having a good time and a fun time, So, to the people out there, Flo, and everyone else that streamed it, thank you guys for those services that you guys do. But Lee, we got to do some housekeeping first. If you haven't done already, like, comment, share this, tell a friend, your auntie, your uncle, your dog. I don't care if your dog's got a Facebook page. Sign on to your dog's Facebook page and tell them to watch. Whatever you got to do. This is a great show that we got going on to Competition Plus. Bobby Bennett, who's going to be coming on here. But Lee, I want to pose this question because I took in a monster truck event this weekend. It's still motorsports for the boys. But after the show on Facebook, because we have so many keyboard warriors that know motorsports and know everything, one of the first things someone said was, well, that was a waste of time. And maybe this is something for the insider, Bobby Bennett, but why do we have so many people that go to an event and then instead of keeping their comments to themselves of whatever they may think, why do we have this tendency in motorsports in general, because we see it all the time, that people, the first thing they want to do is complain about it, but then on the other hand, complain that, oh, why don't we get any big events? Why don't we get this? And why does this place get to run twice? But all you see out of these smaller places or these, different atmospheres is, wow, that wasn't good enough. I didn't like that. Why did this driver do this? Why did this driver do that? So I don't know if we want to break to Bobby right now and let him kind of dive into that. He's got more experience, but I'm just trying to wrap my head around this as in motorsports in general. Why do we have this tendency? The first thing we want to do is complain about a show that's being put on for us.
Sam, I don't know, because I don't understand those people. I feel like for the most part, I'm a very fair and balanced individual, and I've got an outlook that tends to lean more toward positivity than negativity. It's the classic glass half full, glass half empty scenario, and it seems like a lot of motorsports fans are glass half empty type of people. I remember, Twitter today, someone commented, they've got to figure out how to get full fields at an NHRA national meet. And they didn't realize that qualifying money was guaranteed. And yeah, it needs to come back to the level that it was, sure, but it is guaranteed and people do get paid. And frankly, I don't think there's less of a drag race when we don't have full fields. Do I want to see full fields? Do I want to hear the narrative of a bump in and bump out? Yes. But nonetheless, you do have great storylines and still great races put on even when there is not a full field. And if you're upset about full fields, well, you got to spin the narrative. Who can jump up there and get number one qualifier because they're guaranteed that buy run and they earn it? That then becomes your, as it were, bump scenario in that situation. But we have seen the lack of full fields, such as Epping, maybe not this year, but at least last year in 2021. Terry Haddock gets around Ron Capps right when Ron pops near the end of the round one stripe, and that gave Terry a bye into the semifinals, and he was able to make the semifinals. So I don't have an issue. It doesn't bother me, and very rarely do I step away from an event, especially that I paid money for, and I go, wow, that was bad. Now, there might be a bit of that case for if there is low attendance or the cars that were promised didn't show up. And I mean drastic. I've been to some events and they said there was going to be a whole field of gassers and like 2 showed up. That is disappointing.
Now I understand that situation right now. I mean, we are all, and we don't want to get into politics and all this, and we're not going to use that as an excuse, but we're all seeing a shift and a change in things. It costs a little bit more to go somewhere. I mean, gas prices, if you haven't noticed, even if you drive an electric car, shit's high, okay? I mean, the gas prices are way too high. There's some people that aren't going to travel everywhere, but it's still, yes, we want full fields. We want this. We want. But if you go and support it, if you were helping out, your neighbor that may have a car in his garage in the back shed that you've known about for 14 years, and you're just letting it sit there, help them get it back together. Help those local racers get back to the track. Support your local speed shops and whatever else it may be to help them promote and help someone else. It's a chain. It's a chain reaction. I mean, one thing happens, the next thing happens. So I don't know. And it's bugged me. It's irritated me that we have so many that are just, boom, so negative because a driver did this or someone did this and they don't understand. So.
Yes.
Yeah.
So Sam, look, we've got Bobby Bennett queued up. He's at a softball meet. He's outside. He is running out of daylight. So we're going to take a break and get him on and hear from him. I think he's got some interesting things for us. Weldon Pumps has the high-performance pumps you need, and they even supply the power and pump it, too, for the Competition Plus Power Hour. Bobby, what do we got tonight?
Hey, man, it's Tuesday night, American Legion softball. I got a kid out here I got to watch, but I also got to keep my peeps and drag racing in the know. So, Sam, you were asking, why are they so negative and throw all these comments out there? Let me borrow a quote from my old buddy, Mike Tyson. He said, people have gotten to where on the internet, they'll say anything because they don't have to worry about getting punched in the mouth.
Punch in the face.
But you know what? If everything happened that they hope happens, it would be a punch in the mouth to the sport of drag racing. So be careful what you ask for. You might just get it. And if you don't like the sport, leave. Okay? Just leave. Because there's plenty of us that love the sport and have dedicated our life and still dedicating our life to the great things this sport has to offer. So if you don't like it, don't rush off. Bye. So that's the way it goes. So, guys, I know you're excited about the factory experimental thing.
Yes.
Temper your enthusiasm a bit.
Oh, boy.
It's likely not to hit the track this year, not in the configuration that you hoped for. Apparently,
Bobby, didn't we just talk about people in bad news?
Look, I'm telling the truth. I'm not wishful thinking. Well, I guess I am kind of wishful thinking, but hey, you asked the question. I asked the question. You wanted to hear the answer, so here's the answer. If you don't, then I'm going to go. Get me a chili cheeseburger. So tell me, you want it?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Here we go. Originally, the factory experimental class was supposed to have carbon fiber bodies from 5-star that was supposed to speed up the process of getting the cars. Now, these were not going to look like the bubble-shaped Pro Stockers. They were actually going to be to the spec, to the T specs. But somewhere along the line, we decided to change the rules. So from what I'm hearing from my sources, they're going back to a steel roof and quarters. And while that was all neat and everything back in the 70s, Pro Stock and early 80s, it just makes for more man hours, makes for a longer time for these cars to get on the track. And if there's an accident, don't expect your favorite car to be out there anytime soon. So basically, that's what's going on with factory stock show, the factory experimental, not factory stock showdown, but factory experimental. Uh, you will see some factory experimental cars, but your front runners likely not to happen. I know Chris Holbrook's Mustang just went on the jig at Jerry Bickle's shop, and they're missing a lot of parts. So it's like that model car that you don't have all the right parts to finish it. So, hey, there's a difference between just being negative just to be negative, but there's telling the truth, and that's the truth, fellas.
Well, that is a bummer. Definitely wanted to see plenty of those cars on track for their exhibition rounds that we were expecting. And I agree with you. Look, NASCAR has made a move. Other motorsports bodies have made a move to composite bodies, carbon fiber bodies, things of that nature. And they are extremely durable. And you do increase the man hours when you've got to have someone welding and body filler, and then you go out there and wad it up. It doesn't come back.
Oh, no. So now that I've gotten the negative Nelly stuff out of the way and everything, that's just the absolute truth. That's just what's going on, guys. And I hate the negativity, but, not all news is good news. But talk to Dean Antonelli, and I'm just like, did you mean to run a 3-second in that final? Did you just basically have the stones to go for that 3-second run? And the answer is yes. It felt pretty confident from their run in the semifinals to tune it up. And probably one of the neatest things about that whole scenario had nothing to do with being the only car to go into the 3-second zone with Ron Capps. It's how he managed to get out of the first round without hurting himself or Paul Lee in the other lane or getting disqualified. Care to know about this positive news?
Roll on.
Okay. So the crew chief, and I wrote the story, but I cannot remember the gentleman's name, acted as a spotter for Ron Capps. And, when NASCAR guys are going around the track, they're about 180 miles an hour. And they've got somebody in their ear telling them, go high, go low, slow down, or what. I don't know. That I go too fast to turn left anyway. So Ron Capps had just blown the body on his car into such a position he could not see out of the car. And so he could not undo his belts at 270 miles an hour and look over out the side to see where to go. So a alert crewman on the Napa Auto Parts team got on the radio and started telling him, go left, go right, go left, go right. You're good. Keep her straight, and guided him down the track at 270 miles an hour. And if that's not badassery at its finest, I don't know what is, guys.
That's impressive. On both parts.
That's very impressive. And just to give you an insider on one of the stories coming out tomorrow, Susan Wade has written a story that when I read it, man, I was in tears. Sitting at a ball game, watching my kid play, and then I'm about in tears because I'm looking on my cell phone at this story she sent over for tomorrow's news. And back about 41 years ago, I know you guys find it hard to believe I'm that old, but 41 years ago, a guy named Billy Fowler took a chance and took me to the drag strip. Not to just any drag strip. He took me to Thunder Valley Dragway in Bristol. It was my first national event. I was perfectly content spending the rest of my life at Spartanburg Dragway, but then he took me to Bristol Dragway. Now, over the course of the weekend, Billy was our special guest at Competition Plus and stayed in the Thunder Valley Club and got to meet and greet all the drivers and everything. And Susan Wade just penned the most marvelous story. Well, it's about me, but anyway, it just showed the kindness of a gentleman and the will of a kid to never give up. And it's something you probably should check out. And guys, as you can see, they're turning the lights out on me. So I'm gonna have to wrap it up here. But
Yeah, you're in the dark.
yeah, I'm definitely in the dark. There we go. But anyway, I just it's one of those stories that'll encourage you to encourage the next generation or generations afterward.
Well, we look forward to it, Bobby, and thank you for giving us that insider information. We're going to take a look back at Bristol and let you go, man.
Thank you, guys.
The NHRA Camping World Drag Racing Series made its triumphant return to Bristol Dragway on Father's Day weekend for the 2022 NHRA Thunder Valley Nationals, and once again, the action did not disappoint. In Nitro Funny Car, Ron Capps will be the first to score a win in the all-new Toyota GR Supra, putting together a dominating performance in eliminations by laying down low ET of every round of competition, including the only 3-second run of the day in the final round against Tim Wilkerson to capture his second win of the season and 70th of his amazing career. In the Pro Stock Final, it will be all elite all the time once again, as Erica Enders and Aaron Stanfield will face off in the final round for the third time this season, with Erica winning both of them. But in one of the craziest Pro Stock Finals in history, this one will go to Aaron, as Erica will blow a motor early in the run, allowing Stanfield to run away with Pro Stock win number 6 of his career and second of the year. In Pro Stock Motorcycle, after taking Virginia off with a broken toe, Jerry Savoy will bounce back big time in Bristol, defeating number 1 qualifier and red lighting Angel Sampe in the final round to score win number 14 of his career and first of the year. And finally, in Top Fuel Eliminator, after falling just short in the final round a few weeks ago in Epping, Justin Ashley in the Phillips Connect Top Fuel Dragster would get a little redemption in Bristol, taking down Sean Langdon in the final round to capture his second win of the year and 4th of his young career. And that, ladies and gentlemen, is a special fast-paced recap of the recently completed NHRA Thunder Valley Nationals from Bristol Dragway, brought to you by Competition Plus.
Well, thank you, Darren Williams Jr., for that recap. And so Sam, you didn't grow up in the Southeast, but growing up here in the upstate of South Carolina, Tennessee's not too far away. It's a vacation area. And you go up into Tennessee, and one of the things that you can do beyond Dollywood and Pigeon Forge is you can find an old steam train to get on and enjoy the sights of the Smoky Mountains. Well, Pro Stock is not supposed to be no sightseeing tour in the final round, and kudos to Erica Enders. She knows how to drive a car when it's engulfed in that case back in Norwalk, flame and smoke, and she kept driving it, had potential to win that race, just didn't get out of it, but Aaron did drive by. But wow, I don't think I've ever seen a Pro Stocker put out that much smoke, and thank God there wasn't like flames coming out from beneath of the hood. That would not have been a great story at all.
No, definitely. And again, here we go, Lee. We're talking about keyboard warriors. I'm just going to keep this alive. I don't know if you saw some of the comments and people getting mad because Erica stayed in it. Like, I'm sorry. And actually, no, you know what? I'm not sorry. This is the finals. She is going for the 5-peat. Like,
yeah.
Who are you to say, well, I'm mad because she didn't get out of it? I'm pretty sure if you were in that situation, but you would have done the same thing.
She's supposed to stay in it. It's her job to stay in it. She wants to win.
I'm sorry.
Why would anybody say, oh, she should have got out of it? Nah, man, suck it all in and try to get the win. That shows you how much these competitors want to win.
No, and it's unbelievable. Like what Mark Caruso is saying.
Yes. Yes.
Like, just stay in it, pin it to win it. Like, because look at the situation. Look, if you go back and look at that final round, right? It's Sunday. I agree. But you go back and you look at that final round. She is ahead. Why would you get out of it? He already blew the tires. That makes for a great race because she could have given up and then he could have just gone down the track. No way. I'm staying in it. Lee, I'm telling you, Sunday night, I got on Facebook and I don't even know why I did. And you just start cruising. You start cruising through the comments and what people are saying and these little groups. And it's just like, either you guys don't know how this works, 1, 2, you may have bumped your head or something more. she like you said, she kept the car straight. She knew where she was. And then if you watch the full video, when she gets out, you can tell Erica, probably tried to held her breath as long as she could or something. She couldn't breathe. She was frustrated. I would be too. You guys always say we want to see emotion. We want to see this. Well, when they pit it to win it and go down the drag strip, and the biggest burnout of pro stock history, pretty much. I mean, that's what it looked like. You're going to complain?
Also, I guarantee once she caught her breath and there was a moment to ask an important question, I bet rolling from her mouth was, did I win?
Oh, you know it.
How's the car? Not how's Aaron? Not are the mosquitoes in the valley of Bristol Dragway going to survive? No. Did I win? She did exactly what I expect competitors to do. Do whatever it is to compete and get the job done and win. And if you are upset over, I don't know how you could be, but if you are upset over what she did, it just blows my mind you would be. But if you are, go watch people doing croquet or something.
Go watch underwater basket weaving without without a scuba tank.
Go watch T-ball where everybody gets a participation trophy or something.
Hey, Lee, that's not fair. I just left T-ball. I literally just left T-ball, so we won't go.
Okay, well.
All right. Anyway, let's keep going. Lee, if you could go back or if you watched any of the new NHRA, the Fox footage, did you see the new when they're staging? It has a little diagram of where pre-stage is and where stage is and fully staged. What did you think about that?
So
I
caught a little bit of the broadcast on a replay, and I intend to watch another replay that is coming up. And ladies and gentlemen, if you don't know, if you missed the broadcast on Sunday, go to NHRA.com, hit TV schedule, and it will show you the replays. And now sometimes the replays are not at a favorable time, but other times they are, and there are a few coming up. Like I think Thursday night may be the most favorable one. It actually works out that you can watch Between the Slicks with me, and then later on watch the NHRA broadcast. But what little I did get to catch, because I was traveling on the road Sunday, I thought they were trying to do some very innovative things. The camera you're talking about, but they also had the Fatheads Eyewear drone shot overhead showing the track and what the cars were doing in that fashion. Look, if you're out there and you're like, ESPN was better. No. You just hate life and got to complain. That's your problem.
So this rolls into my next question is, since we're seeing these, is Fox and NHRA trying to give us an idea, maybe a glimpse of what the game will look like? Are we moving it? We've got this technology now. We've created this game. Are now we trying to switch things and pick up, hey, we can show how fast the guy is throwing from third base to first base. So now is NHRA saying, hey, let's incorporate, and Fox is saying, let's incorporate some of the things that we know how to do from other, regions and sports, and let's incorporate this into drag racing.
All right, I'm going to say this because we're running out of time. We got to get Bill Bader on. We need to leave the game conversation on the back end of this show, and we need to talk about it.
I've got an important question about the game. It's written in big capital letters.
Yes. We do need to talk about it. But we got Bill Bader in the not waiting room. That's another area with the green room. We'll bring him on in a few moments. And look, so much more to talk about. We're definitely going to talk with Justin Ashley about Top Fuel and his win there. And Ron Capps coming back from a explosion. I look forward to talking to Ron about that particular explosion because it's the first major incident with a funny car and the things that funny cars do, funny car things, that we saw the Supra body take a blow, literally. And it looks like the Supra body has a different shaped burst panel, and you really got to see why those curves are where they are. It's not apparently just for aerodynamics, but it adds some strength to that body. And I'm curious if it is going to be savable. And I think that explosion he had, if you suffered it in a Chevrolet or a Ford body, you'd probably be looking at one that is, split down the middle or split where the blower
it'd be in
is.
pieces.
Yeah, I think
it'd be in pieces. Or it would be like Robert Heights earlier. It was either earlier this year or late last year. The one that happened in Vegas where it kind of split up the windshield and everything like that. So I'm very excited to see that. There's another Mark in the comments that has made an analogy that I really like, and we're going to bring that up when Justin gets on. But a lot to talk about. And Lee, it kind of feels like we're kind of recapping from last year where we left off, because this time last year, I remember I was in California visiting for my little sister's graduation, talking about Norwalk. Here we are, right on the footsteps of it again, doing it all over.
Bill Bader next.
Classic car owners, make your headlights over twice as bright with Holley Retro Bright LED headlights. A plug-in replacement for those dim halogen seal beams, Retro Bright maintains that classic look and lasts 6 times longer. Stay safe and click the link below to learn more.
And if we could play Hell the Chief as he comes in, we would. The man who owns, operates, runs America's racetrack, Bill Bader Jr. Good to have you back, Bill.
Well, listen, I'm excited to be back. Thank you so much for the opportunity. How are you? I was listening to the last couple of minutes, and you have your mojo going for sure. So I'm excited to be a part of it.
Well, good to have you again, Bill. Yes, good to have you. And look, definitely we're going to talk NHRA national event coming up, but Norwalk has not been asleep. It has definitely been busy with drag racing, and I was there in attendance and filming the PDRA American Door Slammer Challenge and had no weather issues this year. Had a good event with the Door Slammer centric group of the PDRA.
We did. We that was really the turning point in our year, because we had rain 5 weekends in a row, and PDRA Memorial Day weekend flipped the switch. We had great weather for the cavalcade. We had great weather for our Pro Media NMRA event, and we've got a great forecast for this weekend. I was thinking it was because it was Memorial Day. I'm now more convinced it was because you were here. So I need you to get here early and often.
Well, hey, anytime I can visit Norwalk, love to do it for sure. Great facility you have there.
Thank you. I appreciate it. I didn't know you were here. I'm sorry. I feel bad we didn't connect and say hello.
No worries, man. You're busy. I'm busy. We're all busy.
Sure. Yep, for sure.
So with Norwalk having this history and everything that's going on, someone approached me here 2 days ago and said they've been to your track and they would put your track in their top 3 of 1, putting on the best shows, and 2, having the best facilities. How do you feel about people way in the great north of North Dakota saying, going to your facility and walking away saying that?
Well, I'm very proud. We have 430 people that wear our uniform, and I think they all take a lot of pride in those kinds of comments, and I certainly do. But I also think that's a great deal of responsibility, because expectations are high. We know that we are in the people business. We're a guest-centric business, so that means guest comes first. And people come here with high expectations, and I don't want to meet them. I want to exceed them. So that means a lot, but that means there's more work to do.
Well, Bill, with the national event coming up, I know that's one of the biggest events you all have for the year, but this year it's different. You've got a year under your belt off the COVID, and I'm sure things feel like they're getting back to normal. But what are some things that you expect with your team there and the facility itself to step it up once again? Because my sense is that you're that type of individual. How can we continue to do it better? How can we continue to improve?
Well, I am of the opinion, first, we're only as good as our last drag race. And when we misstep at an event or we don't meet expectations, it takes an entire year for us to right that, so to speak. So don't even get me started on COVID. But we came back last year. We had an extraordinary year. Like everybody in the world, we were and continue to deal with supply chain interruption and labor shortage and everything else. And last March, we were all surprised. We didn't have a year to understand that, last year I knew that this year was going to be just as difficult. I didn't know going into last year. I went in, on a redemption mission, and I didn't realize what we would be facing. So we come into this year. We had a great recruiting class with staff. We interestingly enough, we hired lots of new people. Other than two retirees, every person that we hired has a full-time job. So we increased our event pay 40%. We continue to improve the facility. I think we look a little better than we did last year. But what will never change is our commitment to the guest and the guest experience. A clean, manicured grounds with lots of smiling faces. And that is one thing I'm very proud of that we never lost during 2020, and that is our commitment to our guests. So I feel like we're on fire right now. We've got a killer forecast. Ticket sales are stout to the point where it's making me a little nervous, truthfully. I just literally came running out of a meeting with our parking team because we were going over an ingress and egress parking strategy, which is what I've spent most of my time today doing. And I'm not going to waste your time with this, but here's the plan. But so I'm, what we do is entertain people. And what I want to happen is I want mom, dad, and the kids to come through that gate. And if for nothing more than 6 hours or 8 hours or 10 hours, whatever is happening outside those fences, whatever personal challenges or whatever trials and tribulations our guests are going through, I want them to forget about it for one day, come in, have fun, stomp your feet, cheer for your favorite driver, and let us entertain you. And to me, that is the greatest part of what we do. That's what I derive the most joy from, is making people happy.
Well, talking about making people happy, last year, some of the issues that were going on, like you mentioned, that ingress and egress, there were some changes, apparently some road or access you didn't have. You actually gave your number out over the PA. I've got to ask, how many phone calls did you get, and what was the most interesting one?
Well, the most interesting one I cannot share. But it involved an experience I'd never been a part of before. I received over 800 phone calls and text messages over the course of the weekend. And over the course of that weekend, I did my level best. My phone actually kind of hiccuped. And I can tell you I have an iPhone, and apparently it doesn't like that much activity. But I reached out to all those people in one form or fashion, because I think some people think that's just some burner phone that goes to nowhere. But that's actually my cell phone. And my wife gets angry every time I do that, because I'm sitting there at midnight trying to respond to people, because I want them to know that that's sincere. And I want them to know that if they have a concern, it's not falling on deaf ears. I want to know. I can't fix what I don't know is broken. So I got some sexy pics. I got some interesting propositions, and those I don't really share with too many people. But lots of gratitude, lots of happy people. I think, my dad said years and years ago that the complaining customer is your friend. And if somebody is going to take the time, their precious time, to share with you something that you can improve on, they're sharing that because they want you to fix it. They're not sharing to complain. They're not sharing to be a jerk. They're saying, hey, we want you to know because we know you want to fix it. So I think sometimes that you have to put things in their proper context. And we have 500,000 people that visit this racetrack. And I really believe that 99.9% of them are vested in our success. That's the approach that I take. And I take those things very personally. I read everyone. I listen to everyone. And it's part of, I think, what makes Norwalk, Norwalk.
And that's exactly what makes it. Oh, no, go ahead.
No, go ahead.
Oh, and no, I was going to say, and that's exactly what, we're seeing in the comments is that, the Bader family has always done it the Bader way. And you talked about that last time you were on the show of, how you guys will do whatever it takes, giving out your cell phone number, which I don't think I would ever do that just because I don't want my phone to go off that much. But when you're doing things like that, you're not thinking of, oh, what's going to happen or who's going to text or what are they going to say. You're always thinking, like you said, we can't fix what we don't know. So looking at, you're a few days away from trucks and trailers rolling in and people starting, to come in camp and they're getting excited. People want ice cream. People want, they want the experience. Right now, looking at that, what's going through your mind of saying, okay, is there anything that we have not touched yet?
Well, I have an event planner that is 77 pages. And in that 77-page event planner, we're supposed to be accounting for every aspect of this event. I feel pretty good about it. We still have some headwinds in certain areas, but what I'm most excited about is despite gas prices, despite inflation, I'm looking at an event that in terms of pre-sale may be a top 5 event in the event's 16-year history. So that means people are going to spend their hard-earned money. They're going to travel from Ohio, from Southeast Michigan. All of our Canadians are back, thank goodness. All of our neighbors to the north are coming back this year. Western PA, Western New York, they believe enough in what we're doing that they're going to travel that distance and pay an obscene amount of money per gallon for gasoline and diesel to be here. And I think essentially we're ready. I am most restless right now because it's like, okay, let's go. And once we throw those gates open on Thursday and the game has started, that's when I relax. Right now, most of my staff doesn't even want to be around me because I'm looking at everything. I'm finding cigarette butts in the landscape, and I'm worried about we haven't gotten this painted, and this looks like hell. And so right now, I'm just looking. I'm on the hunt for anything that's wrong, and we won't be perfect. No one is, and we never are. But we need to make sure that we're ready for our guests, and I think we're there. So that's exciting.
Well, folks, look, as we got Bill Bader Jr. on, be sure to hit that like button for me. We got like 50 of y'all watching on YouTube and, like 17 likes. Help us there. Bill.
Maybe they don't like me. I don't know.
Yeah, no, there's a lot of positivity in the chat. So that's definitely good. Y'all do a great job at Norwalk, and there definitely should be that positivity. Look, you got a full slate of classes coming in for this national event, every professional category, including pro modified. Yep. I wonder of what you have been watching of NHRA Camping World Series drag racing this year. What storyline do you hope might develop in what particular class at your national event? Possibly like a Steve Torrance get his first win of 2022, or Lyle Barnett break through again with the turbo, or anything like that. What might you dream up if Bill Bader could put everything in its place and craft the show?
Well, you catch me off guard, because what happens out there is all organic and none of it's scripted. I think what I would like to see are 4 good rounds of professional category qualifying. I want to see cars get down the racetrack. We don't need it. It's going to be warm this weekend. We've got a great forecast, but it's going to be warm. So it's not like we're going to have, I mean, we sit 853 feet above sea level. So I'm sure corrected altitude is going to be sweltering, suffocating, 3,500 feet. So we don't need records, but what I want to do is I want to see cars make good, sound, side-by-side competitive runs. I'm very excited about some of the young talent in our sport. I think it's pretty cool that I get to go ahead of Justin Ashley. And I was thinking initially that I'm more important, but now I realize I'm probably just the warm-up act for the feature that follows. But Justin is an extraordinary young man, and I think he's got lots of potential. I love the force cars. These guys are all my friends, and I want to see them all do well. So my dream matchup, I don't know that I have one. I just want to see good side-by-side racing. I want everybody to be safe. I want fans to leave here feeling that they got a little more than their money's worth. And just there are some great stories. I mean, you've got Mike Bucher driving Luigi Novelli's car. Luigi at the top end of the racetrack at this race last year. I think for a moment there, was on the verge of meeting our good Lord and Savior. Mike Bucher is one of the first guys down there to him, and this year Mike Bucher's driving his race car. I think maybe Ron Capps had his nose a little out of joint because all everybody was talking about was Hagan and JFR. Robert Height. God, I can't believe that. Sorry, Robert. So I think there are some, I think parity is good for our sport. And because if you know who's going to win on Sunday, where's the mystery? You run the race for a reason. So it seems to me that we have something that maybe we haven't enjoyed in a while. And that's some parity. I don't think we necessarily have a clear-cut favorite in any category. So, everybody be safe, get from A to B, put on a great show, sign autographs, smile, wave, and make memories for our fans in the stands.
That's what it's all about. I mean, we can all say we have favorites and then we don't have favorites, but like you said, we all want to see good side-by-side racing and good events. And as Lee alluded to, seeing these storylines fold out, how does Norwalk play a different role, like the facility, the atmosphere? How does that play into roles for drivers and for different storylines?
Well, I think people enjoy coming here. At least I hope they do. So I've talked to several drivers. A lot of these guys are sending me text messages. I got a text message from Chad Head. Looking forward to seeing you, even if it's only for a minute. We'll help with anything you need. He's a dear personal friend, but so's John Force, and so's a lot of these folks that are out here. So I think it starts with them being excited to be here. If they're excited, if their teams are excited, if their families are excited, I think that I think that is conveyed to the fans. And how can it not? If I'm somewhere that I don't want to be, I think that creates a certain type of a feel. I think people like coming here. They look forward to our fireworks. They look forward to our pound of velvet ice cream for $1, which, despite inflation and despite all of the challenges in the world. We have not increased the price of ice cream, which was the number one question I've gotten. Did you increase the price of ice cream? And I'm thinking, my God, don't touch the ice cream. So I think, yeah, that's right. Don't, no. So, I think people genuinely feel good coming here. And I think our guests pick that up.
Yes, you know that the world can make it when Norwalk has not raised the price of the ice cream. We're going to make it, folks. We're going to make it. So, national events coming up, that is great, but there is so many more events coming up for your facility. And as always, one of the most anticipated, I mean, it really rivals the national event, is your Cornwell Tools Night Under Fire coming up in August. So what is the slate there this year?
Well, and before we get to that, we have July 21st, 22nd, 23rd, we have the inaugural World Series of Pulling presented by Ohio Cat, where we are actually going to cover 450 feet of this racetrack in dirt. And we are going to run a Lucas Oil Pro Pulling League tractor pull with all 10 Champions Tour classes, $250,000 guaranteed purse. That event, I cannot believe the enthusiasm surrounding that event. So we're excited, certainly for that event. The end of the month, we have the Lingenfelter Blue Suede Cruise, which is an exceedingly popular show, popular weekend for our fans. That's a 78 and older street rod show. We've got Dave Kindig coming to that event. He'll be here all weekend with us. We're adding autocross to it. And I saw one of your comments from a guest who is unhappy that I eliminated a class, Race Chasers, at 9:49 p.m. And I would encourage that gentleman, if he wants, to call me or email me, and I'll be happy to speak with him. But we get to the 45th annual Cornwell Tools Night Under Fire. That's August 6th. We've got Ron Capps, Cruz Pedregon, John Force, Alexis DeJoria, Robert Height, Dale Creasy. We are going to be shooting fireworks from 6 different locations at that event, which I'm pretty excited about. Bob Moats, Jet Kenworth, Jet Dragsters. We added motorcycles. Larry Spider-Man McBride will be here. Dave Van Tyne, Mitch Brown, Sam Wills. We've got Pro Mod. We've got Outlaw Dragster. We've got Wheel Standers. We've got AA Gassers. So we've got something for everybody at the Night Under Fire. And I would encourage people, if they have not bought tickets for that event, I fully expect that by early to middle July, let's say by July 15th, that event will be a complete sellout. So that is not promoter hype. If you want to wait. But I'm going to tell you, that thing's going to be sold out here in the next 14 to 21 days.
Dang!
Lee.
Dang!
Lee.
That is a card right there. I like it.
Like, there's a couple things there. You're covering your racetrack, your facility, with dirt.
18 inches.
Yeah, and mind you, we were not going to skip over the tractor pull. I'm looking at that. I'm like, man, I think that fits in a window in my schedule. I'm like, I love tractor pulling, and that is going to be huge to see that. And like, what's the process going to be?
So on Sunday morning, week of the World Series of Pulling, we're going to strip the racetrack. We're going to start the track at the 60-foot cone. We're going to go 450 feet north. I'm going to, Evan and I and a handful of our track crew will strip the asphalt, get rid of all the sticky. We're going to put down about 1,400 sheets of plywood. And then we will cover 450 feet of the racetrack in 18 inches of dirt. And there is a track builder that we have hired, and there is a process of doing this right. Our dirt has been identified. It's being stored for us under roof. And in a perfect world, we strip the track on Sunday. We start laying plywood and applying dirt on Monday. The track's fully built by Tuesday. We start pulling on Thursday. And one of the cool things about the World Series of Pulling is that we're going to take the top 5 pullers from each one of the 10 classes. So we're not going to crown a winner of each hook. We're going to take the top 5 from the overall, and those top 5 in each of those 10 classes will come back Saturday night. We'll crown champions. We're going to give them ice cream scoops. And we've got a spectacular fireworks show planned. Lots of pageantry, lots of presentation. But we're going to put some cameras up so people will be able to tune in and kind of watch the process of the build. But, during the pandemic, it was just me and a handful of our team and 320 acres. And I sat in the grandstands and I tried to reimagine, okay, we're a drag strip, yes, but what more can we be? And I looked at our racetrack and I thought, you know what? We've got 30,000 seats, concert quality sound, Musco sports lighting. This is a stage. And what can we do with it? And so there's a number of cool ideas I'm working on, but the tractor pull seemed to have struck a chord with a lot of people in the area and lots of excitement.
For sure, man. And, if this is successful, and I say that knowing it will be, honestly, I mean, man, the potential for beyond tractor pull. I mean, remember Topeka had a sprint car track for 3 years or something. I mean, there's no telling what y'all could pull off.
Yep. I mean, concert, PBR events, WWE events. Now, listen, for your viewers and listeners that think, oh my God, he's gone to the dark side. We will always be a drag strip. And I understand that. But the reality of it is that we need to diversify our portfolio a little bit so all of our eggs aren't in one basket. And I'm hoping that we introduce, tractor pulling is so family centric, more so probably than drag racing. And every kid growing up has been to a tractor pull. Not every kid growing up has been to a drag strip. So I'm hoping we introduce some new people. We can cross them to the national event. We can cross them to PDRA. We can cross them to the Night Under Fire. And because we have a growing fan base, and that fan base is not getting bigger, it's getting smaller. So we need to introduce more people into this great sport of ours. So lots of opportunities for sure.
And see, Lee, that's exactly what I was just thinking. You get someone there for the tractor pull because they like that, but then they see, like you said, the showmanship you guys put on, the fireworks, the atmosphere, and they're like, well, are all their events like this? And then they come to another one and see something else. Now you've got someone that's just a fan of your facility and what you guys are doing. But then I kind of want to backtrack where we're talking, we're having a conversation, but you're still looking in the comments and you're seeing what people are saying, and you're reaching out and saying, you know what, if you don't like this, you can contact me. You don't have to be paying attention to these comments, but you still are, because you care about what people think and what people are saying. And that's what it takes across the board. I mean, honestly, guys, girls out there, if you are not a fan of what Bill Bader is saying and what he's doing and what he's trying to do to continue to thrive the sport and grow the sport, we can't be friends. I'm just gonna say it. If you don't like it, there's something wrong with you, and you and I cannot be friends. I don't want to be friends with you if you think that there's something wrong with what this man is trying to do for this whole sport of motorsports in general. Period. Done.
Well, listen, I appreciate that, and I am very sensitive about what people say about this place, and I take it all very seriously. Somebody made a comment to me that I didn't care that the team staying here this weekend for the national event. I didn't care that they were being gouged with hotel room rates. And I made several phone calls today. I talked to Lori Frazier. I made a call to the Visitors Bureau, and I said, listen, we're having a meeting after this event because I do care. And the trickle down, I mean, we all need to be healthy. The two of you need to be healthy. The show needs to be healthy. I need to be healthy. The teams need to be healthy. Everybody has to be healthy. And if only one side of the desk is healthy, ultimately that same side of the desk is going to be out of business. So this is a team. We work together. We row in the same direction. We're in the entertainment business, and so we need to all work together. And that's those comments are invaluable. And I never hope my feet are never on the ground, and I'm so arrogant as to think, you know what, if you don't like it too damn bad, don't come, because this is Norwalk. That will be the beginning of the end of this facility. I guarantee it. And I've seen the good Lord humble people quickly. And so both feet on the ground. And that's, I mean, it's just be kind. Let's be kind to each other. Let's have fun. Let's enjoy what we're doing. Simple, right? Not that hard. And to the race chasers guy who posted his unhappiness about the Blue Suede Cruise, call me. 419-577-5210. Call me, text me. After this, I'm probably going to go home, take a shower, and go to bed. But the point is, I get it. And so people first.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, the number has been dropped. Bill, look, thank you for your time. And I have scheduling conflicts, and I'll be at the Southeast Gassers this particular weekend, but I definitely do hate missing any time I get to visit the great facility there in Norwalk, Ohio, known as Summit Racing Equipment Motorsports Park. Keep up the good work, man.
Well, listen, thank you both so much. You have a standing invitation, both of you. Come to the World Series of Pulling. Come to the Night Under Fire. And I look forward to seeing you guys soon. Thank you for the opportunity. God bless.
Thank you.
Well, one of the greats in the sport on the ownership promoting side in Norwalk. Guys, if you just look at Norwalk and you're like, national event, you're wrong. Please go look at their schedule. They're doing so much more beyond that, and attend the other events. Get your tickets for Night Under Fire. He is not lying when he says that is going to sell out. It will definitely do that. Sam, our next guest is lined up and
he's
ready
here
to go. He's in.
I put in a couple of pictures that I took a few weeks ago. Is it that guy? That young kid with the great
guy.
Smile? Is it him?
It's that guy that I look a lot like. Yes.
Yeah. Or is it, does he belong with these good looking fellers?
I don't know about good looking, but those fellas, yes.
We definitely need to ask some questions about good looking fellers. I mean, especially that one guy. It was his birthday here this weekend. The tall guy, Ryan. Yeah, so much to talk about, Lee. Especially, sure. I don't know if you got to see those pictures that are floating around of that good-looking team. But, Lee, let's go to a commercial and bring on the young, the stylish, the good-looking, the New York crazy boy, our friend, Justin Ashley.
You forgot Thunder Valley Nationals winner.
Oh, that's beside the point. I mean, is that why he's on the show here tonight? Is because he won?
Commercial break.
Get your CompetitionPlus.com apparel today. Whether it's our nitro-burning funny car design or the vibrant door slammer design, we have the swag to show you are always in the know. Get yourself a hat too. And we know not everyone enjoys wearing a mask, but if you must wear one, at least wear a good-looking one. Check out the new CompetitionPlusApparel.com for the latest from the place where you have trusted for your news on the internet for over 2 decades.
Mr. Ashley.
What's going on, guys? Thanks for having me on tonight. I appreciate it.
Man, it's good to have you on. And look, every time we have you back, that wall keeps expanding. I love seeing, like, there needs to be a storyboard, a YouTube video. I guess I'll have to do it, of like the expanding collection of Justin Ashley as he wins. It's very cool to see.
Thank you. I appreciate it. I mean, it's nice. Anytime you go to a race and you're able to leave with a Wally, it's something special. But it was a Father's Day weekend. So, it was for all the fathers out there, my father, all the fathers that are on our team. It was truly a collective team effort, and everyone really did a masterful job all day long. So it was a fun weekend, and the more we can keep adding to this trophy collection, the better.
Definitely, and we might as well ask this question. I know you've been, answering all the time, but how cool was it for you to win when your biggest supporter, the last guy that, you talked to, before you get in your car, your dad, I know how much he means to you. He, like I said on the comments there, he's been a dad to most of us out there at the racetrack. How cool was it to have Big Mike come out and, be there with you getting that trophy and everything else?
Yeah, it was really special. There's a certain amount of prestige that comes with Bristol Dragway. One of the big reasons why it's so prestigious is that every year it's raced on Father's Day weekend. And from day one, my father has been my biggest supporter, really in all facets of sports, life, business, from the time I was a young kid. So to be able to share and cherish in that moment together was really special. And he's just as much a part of this team as everyone else. And we all know it. And it was really great to be able to share in that moment together. As happy as I was, and make no mistake, I was absolutely elated. I'm still elated from the victory. He was probably that much happier. So he really enjoyed it, and it brings joy to my heart to be able to see that. He deserves it. We deserve it as a team. And, what an incredible, incredible way to celebrate Father's Day.
All right, Justin, I know you have been on WFO radio already today, from what I understand, and had a great breakdown of the win. But give us the play-by-play of the weekend for everyone that watches the Power Hour here on Competition Plus that may not have heard from the driver's seat, from your perspective. Was it a effortless weekend and everything went right, or were there issues that you all had to work around? What type of weekend was it getting this win?
Well, it was an interesting weekend, an up and down weekend, if you will. I mean, we really didn't accomplish all of our objectives during qualifying Friday and Saturday, partially probably because you and Sammy weren't there to bring that good energy and that good mojo. But nonetheless, we qualified 14th, really never made one full clean lap down the racetrack Friday and Saturday, but that's why races are run on Sunday. So, having struggled a little bit during qualifying, our faith never wavered. A big reason why is because of our team, because of Mike Green, Tommy Delago, Dustin Davis, and the entire team. Now, going into Sunday, qualified 14th, had a really tough first round matchup against Josh Hart. For us, that's the Fleet versus the Fleet Technology team right there. And it was a great drag race, a 382 to a 382. And, sometimes you're on the winning end of those. Sometimes you're on the losing end of those. Those are just great drag races. They're really good for the fans. And Josh is a great driver. They have a great team. And, that's one of those deals that as you're going down the racetrack, you can kind of hear him. You can kind of hear him in your ear, and you're just waiting to see if he's going to drive past you. But thankfully, we had enough room to pull away with the victory. And that really got our day rolling from there. A close race against Doug Foley next, a 91 to a 94. And at this point now, we're in the semifinals, 2 rounds away from a very prestigious victory, and you can really start to feel the possibilities happen. Our team is getting really excited, but obviously we had to stay focused. And, our reward for that is Steve Torrance, right? How awesome is that? The back-to-back world champion 4 times in a row. He's always a really tough guy to race. And, that was another good old drag race, an 83 to an 87, and we came up with the win there. And, just anytime you go up against Steve, we raced him last year in Bristol and we came up short. So to be able to come up on the winning end this time was really important for us. And we were able to finish the deal against Sean Langdon. So it was a gauntlet of opponents. As we went through the day, obviously we got more and more confident, but they just did a masterful job, Tommy, Mike, the team, of really racing in their own lane, racing the racetrack, because it was a difficult track surface and it was hot out there and there's some altitude in Bristol. So they did a really great job and they made my job easy, and it was a fun ride.
So looking here, I grabbed a few more pictures, and I hope you don't mind, Lee. But going back to what you said about, your team and how you guys are a tight-knit family. Right here, you have a picture that was posted of yourself, your dad, Mike and Austin, and Dustin and his son on Father's Day. Very, very cool picture to see all of you guys, and your fathers out there. Then there's another picture here. I kind of want to talk about this one here. You got the whole team at the starting line. Dad's still athletic. I mean, Mike's still got some hops there. I mean, we can pull that back up. He's the only one, that's fully out there and cheering. And like you said, having Mike Green and Tommy out there to help, crew chief that car down there. How confident are you on race day going into, the finals and knowing, what, I've got two of the best out there that are behind me and pushing this car down the track?
Yeah, extremely confident. I mean, you have to be as a driver when you have those two guys and then the collective group of 10 to 12 people behind them actually working on the car. I have the easy job. I get to sit in there and drive, and I'm fortunate to be able to get the recognition, but it's about those guys. It's about the team. And I have a tremendous amount of confidence in Mike and Tommy. There's no reason that I shouldn't. They each bring a tremendous amount of excellence, a tremendous amount of expertise. And, I know that each and every time they put their best foot forward, and, history speaks for itself, right? They've had success everywhere they've gone. And, in addition to their on-track success, they have off-track success with the teams that they've worked with. They are just a pleasure to work with, a pleasure to learn from. And I continue to learn, continue to pick their brain, and continue to grow from a driver standpoint, which is really critical because these guys are really great. So the utmost confidence in them. And, one of the interesting parts, you showed that picture of being a driver, is that you don't get to experience that starting line. You don't get to see it. So to be able to look back and watch the starting line expressions on video, to see the pictures like that, to see how high my dad jumped in the air, who very much impressed me with his vertical leap. Next time we're actually going to have to measure it. Really is exciting. That's what it's all about right there, is that raw, genuine emotion after a long day of racing.
What bet did your dad lose on this time? I'm just curious.
Nothing. He's afraid by the time he walks out of no clothes left.
No, didn't. He lost the belt. He lost the belt this time.
Did he lose?
He lost the shoes.
I can't keep track, Sammy. Honestly.
Okay.
I don't even know. I just know that if we win races somehow, there's another article of clothing that goes away, and he comes home with less clothes. So I didn't think he very well may have given away something this time, and I just wasn't aware. But the guys love it.
Yeah. So for everyone that can see this picture, in this picture, Mike Ashley has on a blue pair of shoes. At the beginning of the year, he made a deal with Greg, and he gave away the blue shoes. And then there was a belt involved, a matching belt. Greg has a belt now. I saw the picture of it, and that's awesome. I got another picture of the guys because the guys are great. Justin, your team all decided to do a mustache trend. I mean, it's been going on in, Hagen's got his mustaches. Now your guys have got it. When are we going to see one on Justin Ashley? Like, when is that coming?
I have a better one for you. So those guys surprised me. I was in shock. I didn't even know what to say Sunday morning when I'm trying to focus. It's race day. It's a big day, right? Had my AirPods in, trying to listen to some music, get my mindset right. So I say the first person I saw, I don't remember. I think it was Big Mike or someone like that with the mustache, or Justin with the mustache. I was like, that's a bold move, right? That's really interesting. And then as I work my way through the pits, there's a mustache to my left. There's a mustache to my right. There's a mustache in front of me. Back. I'm surrounded by all these mustaches, right? So now I'm thinking, oh no, you know what this means. First of all, if we win the race, the mustaches have to stay. So that's a given. Number two, they better not ask me to grow a mustache because it's going to take at least 4 or 5 weeks. And I have a better solution to that. On my behalf, on behalf of the team, Chip Lofton has joined in. And I'm going to put him on the spot right now. From what I'm being told, he will have a mustache at the next race, which is in Norwalk this weekend. So I fully expect not a mustache from me, but a mustache from Vitasy Energy's very own Chip Lofton. That'll be fun to see. Lots of pictures this weekend.
A lot of stash. A lot of stash. It definitely is. Now, that's a big deal for sure. But it was a big deal this particular weekend for Toyota, a lot of success. One, Antron Brown needed the weekend he had, Toyota team. You pick up the Wally, Toyota team. And Ron Capps gets it done for the first time in a super body. Big wins for Toyota. You got to share the victory lane with Ron. What was all that like, and what has the response been like from Toyota?
Yeah, it was a great weekend for Toyota. Obviously, they had Caps winning funny car, and our team won in top fuel. And even in addition to that, they had a ton of cars, whether it was Antron Brown, Sean Langdon, Alexis Joria, so many other cars go rounds throughout the weekend. So it was a really important weekend for Toyota. Obviously, it was their first win in their new Supra funny car body, which was also really exciting. So to be able to share that win with a Toyota teammate in Ron Capps was really, really special. We took some winner's circle shots together. We were able to spend some time together at the top end and after the race in the media center. You know, Toyota does such a good job. One of the most valuable parts of Toyota, obviously, is the data and information that Toyota Gazoo Racing North America provides our team and all the Toyota teams to be able to perform on the racetrack. But the great job they do in building their drivers and working with their drivers to help coach them and build their brand and introduce them and develop relationships for them to help become better people, better drivers, better brand ambassadors, and have better careers. So it really makes you want to win and win for Toyota Gazoo Racing North America. So to be able to have a funny car winner, have a top fuel winner together for Toyota was really a great experience.
So looking over your year, you started off the year, very hot. You get that win. You go through, you and I talked about it, through the highs and lows of the seasons, a couple of first round losses, a couple of semifinal rounds, final rounds. Now you hit this point, you get this win. Does this turn that next page in you guys' book, or give you that next notch in the belt to say, you know what, we found what we've been looking for, we've been working on it, and now it's all coming together?
Yeah, that's a great question. I suppose it does, back-to-back final rounds, been able to stack round wins. But I think we felt that way the whole way. It was really just a matter of being able to put it all together and actually see the result. But we really felt like we were in a good position no matter what. So, I guess it's easy to say that in a way. Yeah, it feels like we kind of took that next step, another notch in the belt, back-to-back finals, a win. But we felt like we've always been in a good position. And it's also important to remember that this sport will humble you really quickly. We're coming off a win, but and it's really important. I'm a strong believer in that. It's really important to cherish and enjoy those moments, whether it's that day, the next day, the day after. You really have to enjoy it because you work so hard to get there, and our team and our marketing partners work so hard to put us in a position to be able to do that. But at the same time, you have to shift your focus. The past is the past. At some point, there's a cutoff point. We have to focus on Norwalk. In this instance, you have to focus on the next race because you have to leave everything else behind you, because there's enough to concentrate on in each race. So, the sport will humble you really quick. The top fuel field is deep. Really happy our teammate Antron Brown took a big step forward this weekend, and we want to see that success continue for he and his team as well as our team. But, another notch in the belt for sure. But I think all year we've really felt good about our program.
Is it easier to go into a back-to-back scenario, a Western swing scenario where it's 3 back-to-back, and continue the momentum that you have from a win, and vice versa? If you perceive you're not doing well, then are you like, man, we need a break and not have back-to-back?
Right. So it's interesting. There's two schools of thought, right? I like back-to-back races, or in the instance of the swing, back-to-back races. I think it's really good for carrying momentum. And if you don't have a good race, it gives you a great opportunity to shake it off and get right back at it. The other school of thought is, it's so hard to win one of these things. Let me just have a weekend off and enjoy it and be able to cherish it for that much longer. So there's positives and negatives to both of it. I think the best thing that could happen is we get right back on that racetrack, which we're going to do here this weekend in Norwalk. Bill Bader, you guys spoke to him earlier. That's one of the best tracks to race at. So really looking forward to that as a team. We have a few guys on our team, no names, Mike Arnridge. We'll really enjoy the ice cream that's there as well. So it'll be a really great experience for our whole team. But we need to carry that momentum. And in order to do that, long breaks, aren't exactly the best thing. So race to race to race, the more we can do it consecutively, the more we can find success will help us carry that momentum. But it's really us to be able to implement it.
And as I'm seeing it too, you are continuing to gain, marketing partners and bringing new people on. And how does that attest to, what you've been doing all year to have people say, you know what, we're seeing what you're doing. We want to be a part of this. We want to be on board with you.
Yeah, that's great because, this sport, everyone sees what happens on the track, and that's about 10% of it. But the other 90% is what happens off the track, and everyone wants to talk about reaction times, how fast the car runs, and all that's important, but how do you get there? And a large part of that is the funding, is the support that you have from your marketing partners. You have a company like Phillips Connect that came on board this year that has done nothing but put their best foot forward to help our program be successful. And we wouldn't be in the position we are without them. And you have to learn and understand their business, right? You take a business like Phillips Connect and why they're out here. You have these 53-foot trailers that used to be known as dumb boxes on wheels pulled by these state-of-the-art trucks. And now Phillips Connect has introduced a gateway with all their sensors that go on these trailers to save costs and provide excellent utilization for these fleets. And they're able to showcase that and use the opportunity that the NHRA offers to be able to put their products out there for people, clients to see. So it really does mean a lot for companies like them, for companies like Chip Lofton and Mark Beavis, Vita-C Energy, to support us and put us in this position. And the more partners we add, the better it obviously makes us feel. And collectively as a group, it does put us in a better position to go out there and be successful. And the success on the track that we've had certainly does help with that.
All right, Justin, talking about marketability and marketing, NHRA announced the game this week, and you got a pretty prominent spot in it. We're gonna bring it up and see what's going on here and talk through it. I think opening up, boom! Justin Ashley right there in the opening scene. Then John Ford. That's pretty good placement there, bud.
That's pretty awesome, isn't it?
The car looks spot on. Don't connect everything else. Yeah, good man. So what are your thoughts so far on the game, and then anything beyond the trailer that everyone else is seeing?
Yeah, so I really haven't been able to see anything beyond what everyone else has seen. This is my first time seeing the trailer of the game, just when they released it. And I was really excited about it. I have to thank NHRA and Game Mill and everybody who put this together, because we were clearly a big part of the trailer. And it's really important to our team because it means a lot. But it's really important to our sponsors to be able to have that visibility. And what this game is going to help do is bring NHRA and their platform to the mainstream media, which is really important, and also help further introduce us to the youth that could be a big part of the sport in the future. So the NHRA video game is going to be across all platforms. It's really exciting. It's a great opportunity for the NHRA community, for our team, for our sponsors to extend their reach. So just really exciting all the way around. Absolutely love looking at Vita-C Energy and Phillips right now in the video game. Absolutely love seeing it on there. It's going to be a lot of fun to play.
Well, I definitely expect that if I get to play as Justin Ashley in the game, I get like an edge on the tree. That's what I'm expecting. That's what I'm hoping.
Yeah, I don't know if it's like we're going to have to figure that out, right? It's like Madden, when each player gets their ratings and then they have the reaction to what they're rated and whether it's good, bad.
Right.
So I don't know if it's going to be like that. We'll have to see. I should have lobbied to see if we can get Mr. 300 Jim Epler in the game, but
yeah, because look, if there is a ranking system, just like we see with Madden, the player is always going to look at their stats like, no, that's not right. I'm faster than that. Bump me to 99.
That's right. It'll be fun, but that's all part of the game, right? It's going to be fun. It'll be a great experience to play. I'm already thinking of a few creative ideas. It's funny, when I was younger at the racetrack, my father, to keep me entertained, would set up an Xbox in the hospitality area. I actually think that's something we ought to think about for our guests to be able to play that game with our Phillips Connect Top Fuel Dragster in the hospitality area. I think that's something we might need to think about. It might be pretty cool.
For sure. I think it allows that. That's something that could be available to every team. Go get a system, set it up. And what is a flat screen TV today? That would not be that hard to do. And from what I understand, talking to very reliable sources, you can expect the game on the midway at a particular big event. So I'll wait. And, if that hasn't already come out, but you should be able to expect it somewhere. And I frankly expect that it will be at every NHRA event beyond that. Why would you not have several screens and systems set up to do that? That's why you're creating it.
Yeah. It'd even been cool, like how they have some of the trailers set up with the makeshift funny cars or the, where you can get into the car and actually sit there and, step on the pedal. That would be awesome. There's so much to talk about, but Justin, will there, like, the cool thing or the thing I'm thinking of this game, can you create your own driver?
Oh, that's interesting. That reminds me of, like, I don't know if you ever played the NCAA football games where you did like race for the Heisman and created your own person.
Oh yeah.
I tried to win the Heisman Trophy. That was one of my all-time favorite games. But if you can create your own driver, that would be really an interesting element to it. That would be a lot of fun. I remember the old game in 2007. I think you were able to do something like that. So hopefully that's a possibility.
Yeah, create your own driver and go through the whole tour and, go through the whole season and see where you end up. I will be stealing, if they can do that, I'm going to put this out there, Lee, before you even take it. I'm stealing Justin's reaction time, like cheat code, enter, Google search. Yeah, I'm not a gamer.
It's up, down, up, side, triangle.
Dude. You're asking the wrong person. I have not played a video. I have literally never owned a game system. I'm not a video game guy. My mom said, you're going outside and you're going to play. And when the street lights come on, you're coming back in. So, yeah. Angry Birds it is for me.
Angry Birds. Well, Justin, look, my last question for you tonight. We'll take your Pop's question here, or he says we should ask about Rich Bailey's Big Mac. So some insider information from the weekend. What did Rich get himself into?
What didn't Rich get himself into? That's a better question. I don't want to throw any restaurants under the bus. I don't think that's the right thing to do. I think we need to support local business. But with that being said, we had some pretty funny experiences in Bristol, Tennessee. I will just say that it took us a little while to find a nice restaurant, just a decent average restaurant to eat, but we were able to do that and we enjoyed dinner. But Rich's Big Mac, he got himself a nice Big Mac and it had some hair in it, and he wasn't happy that it had hair in it, and he had to give it back. And I'll leave out the rest of the details from there. But if anybody knows Rich Bailey, if you don't, you might want to follow him on Facebook and get his intricate stories. But I think that just using your imagination, if you know Rich Bailey, he's a hoot.
Yeah, I don't think anybody orders hair. I don't think so.
Yeah, I mean, look at I don't know. I tried to tell him maybe it's his own hair, but it wasn't flying. So I told him, listen, I don't know what you're talking about. Just take the hair and keep eating. That's what I would have done. I would have flicked the bug off and kept eating whatever it was, but not for him. I understand. I get it.
Well, Justin, like we've always said, it's always an honor and a pleasure from your family and your team and everyone involved. Again, congratulations. Like I said, you've been like a brother to me since day one, so we appreciate that. For all you guys have done, and just congratulations, man. Hard work all year, the whole team. You guys have done things. I recently just see pictures. You guys moved into the new shop, so they're excited about that. So just continue to keep pushing. And like you told me when I saw you in Arizona this year, you can't ride the wave of it because it'll take you for a ride. So I'm happy for you, man. Hope to see you soon and keep the pedal to the metal.
Appreciate you guys. You guys have an awesome show. Thank you for having me on. Lee, your beard looks better than ever today. I don't know what you're doing with it, but it looks great. Sammy, I could tell you lost weight. You must be working out. You guys look awesome. Now look at you guys. You're going to blush. I'm flattering you guys. But yeah. If you guys are in Norwalk, let me know. I'll buy you guys some ice cream. If not, I hope to see you guys soon. Thank you for having me on, and be good, guys.
Thank you, Justin.
Thank you.
Congratulations. Thanks. And we let Justin go with Justin. All right, Slam and Sam, we got a little bit more to talk about. And
Justin always keeps it AH.
This thing down.
Justin is always on top of it, man. He's always a good Good time to have. But he said I lost weight. I did lose the beard. I've toned up a little bit. Don't want to say I lost weight. It's because I'm wearing black today. That's why. Girlish figure. Hey, okay, right. Lee. Okay, that's besides the point. But we got to talk about this here. And I was going to bring it up the other day when everyone posted the picture of the game coming out and everything. I don't know if you have that picture queued up or if I can ramble for a little bit to get that picture queued up. But it was brought up of the cover. I want the cover picture. That's what I want right now.
Picture. Okay.
Right now. If you can get that for me. So
I can try.
We've alluded to, bringing different atmospheres into this and different, sports. We heard the Madden term used a couple of times here. Like I said, I'm not a video game player, but I do know about them. Now, Lee, whenever you get this picture up, you've heard of the Madden curse, right?
Yes, and I think there's some credibility to the Madden curse.
No, and there is. Now, I just want to say this. Who went kablooey that's on this cover right now? That's all I want to say.
Well,
I'm just saying.
Didn't all three of them technically?
Lee, I say again. Who went kablooey? I'm serious. Dude, I know why. And
Brittany pedaled, and there was like a small backfire, if I remember. You got Erica making like a moment that will go down in pro stock history of fogging the valley and kablooey in a super body for Ron Capps.
Lee, take the picture down now. Take the picture down, please. Lee, I'm gonna ask this question again. Have you heard of the Madden curse?
Yeah, maybe there's the game meal entertainment curse.
Lee, have you heard of the Madden curse?
Yes.
And as soon as this mysteriously pops out, what happens to all three of the drivers that are on the front cover of our beloved NHRA drag racing game? I legit, no lie, Lee, when I saw the cover, when you posted it on your page, I got it from your page and I shared it. I said, you know what? I should go live about this. And I know live. I text Wes and I said, hey, what are you doing? Can you do like an impromptu live feed? And then I was literally I had you to text next. And then I had Darren with American Hot Rod ENT. Because I'm like, who are the guys that I could talk to about the curse before? And this is before anything happened. And I'm sitting here watching NHRA TV and Brittany, Ron, final round. I'm like, dude, I'm sitting here like, and that's the first thing I wrote on my notes was the curse is real. That's all I'm saying about the video game. The video game cover curse is a real thing. I don't know if you're out there in the comment world what you believe, but I believe it. It's true.
I think Eddie George and a few others definitely believe it from the Madden world, but no, astute observation there. And I want to say this about the game. We, as a community, have needed this electronic form of interaction for many years now. But I do want to temper everyone with this statement that they have never stated this is a simulation game. And I don't think we can expect simulation standards. Expect less than a simulation, but more than an arcade game, and let the brand develop. A lot of purists will point out that you can see header flames during the day. A lot of purists will point out they're revving a nitro car at the line like an alcohol car. A lot of purists will point out many other elements, such as all the Top Fuel dragsters in the trailer are canopy cars. Now remember, just because you're seeing a trailer does not represent that is the final product. Because you and I both know, Sam, that for there to be a trailer to come out of the final product, that those two track very similar, and you've got to get the trailer out, and you're probably not even done with things, but you're going to show your best foot forward. So I expect you'll probably see the game even look a little bit differently than what the trailer did. Just like we see trailers, we go to the movie, and we're like, I didn't expect that from the trailer. I think we're going to have that situation. So I have it on high regards from people within the NHRA that we can expect a good game, but do not expect a simulation. That's what I'm saying about the game.
Yeah, I had a couple of people, I posted and said, this is leaps and bounds for the sport across the board, whether you like it and and like I said, I'm not a gamer. I've never been a gamer, so I'm excited because I'm like, you know what? I might go out and buy a PS4 now or an Xbox or whatever. I mean, whatever it comes out in, I might just go and buy one just for the heck of it. But so I can play this game, and so my son can come over and I can whip him up in some drag racing, But people are, the graphics are so 2012. So what? You got a game. What are you complaining about? Grand Theft Auto wasn't Grand Theft Auto wasn't the big whoop-de-doo when it first came out. I remember Need for Speed. I used to go to my cousin's house. He had the little steering wheel. I thought it was cool. Like, we have to take it in strides. And just like I mentioned at the beginning of the show, no matter what we do, it's always, it's too late. Well, we're behind the 8 ball. Well, we should have done this so many years ago, or it's not up to my liking. If you can do it better, or if you have suggestions, contact the people or go in and help them, since you think you can do it so much better.
Yes. And again, I think let the ball get rolling, and they come out with several games. Madden has progressed and other titles have progressed, and the NASCAR games, post EA, if you will, weren't that great, but they have progressed. Do I hope one day we will have a true simulation such as on iRacing? I do. But I can take less and appreciate the game either way.
I'm just happy there's one. Like, this is a start. It's honestly the start of where we want to be and where we could potentially be in 2 years. I mean, look at how many times, a new game comes out, new this comes out. I mean, the fact that we're using the technology and we're putting it forward, we're getting these race car sounds. We're the designing that it took for someone to even simulate these cars and to get the header flames and to get these cars, just from the picture that you showed, to actually look exactly like these race cars at the racetrack, to simulate the actual racetrack and the tree coming down, the fine details of the blue lights, everything. I mean, if you can't be happy for it, I don't know.
Right. And I will say that one element I think they have got to work out, and it has nothing to do with graphics, it has nothing to do with licenses from manufacturers, is if there is not down the road a patch and a working out of online multiplayer, that is going to be a serious downside actually to the franchise.
Oh yeah, because they need to see Slam and Sam whoop up on the Monday Morning Racer, pre Power Hour, pre In the Groove podcast, or Between the Slicks. They need to see me whoop up on you as you prepare for the show and we're playing live together.
That would be cool, but you would lose because you would red light just like you did so often at PRI.
We still have, I think I still have the video to prove it.
I was consistent. I was very consistent.
Now he's changing.
Or you red lighted.
Now he's changing the story, guys, just like a true drag racer. Okay. It's all right, Lee. I understand that you had your sunglasses on inside and you can't see that well.
That was not a problem. It did not affect. I was consistent, boy. You were late. You were early. You were really good. But man, I don't know. I couldn't trust you as a driver.
Hey, Lee, did I leave on you? Did I put a gap on you? In the words of since Pro Mod's coming back, in the words of Steve Fat Jackson, did I pulled some freight trains on you? I left you at the light.
Yeah, because it was red.
No, you even admit sometimes I did go red. That's fine.
Hey, the car owner of Justin Ashley's ride, Mr. Dustin Davis, said, "Man, Lee, you're pretty consistent."
That's fine.
See, Kenny, yes, there has been games before this one. It's been about 15 years, though, so that's why this one is such a big deal. But I would love to be able to find online like the PC version of the older ones. They were great games. Thoroughly enjoyed them. So,
hey, Kroger,
look,
how much money we talking?
I am looking forward to it.
Lee, you got people willing to put money on you, so now we're going to have to get together soon. And
we're going to have to. We're going to have to do it. Well, maybe we can do it at this particular big drag race on Monday.
Maybe. I don't know, Lee. I think I got you. So whoever wants to bet, I think we should take a poll of who do you think is going to win. Lee, I don't remember my picks from last week. Do you remember mine?
I don't remember your picks. I don't even remember my picks. I can't keep up with my picks. I make picks. I don't remember them. I go to drag races actually and do something. I can't remember. I've had too much nitro. I have had too much nitromethane. I have had too much methanol and kerosene this weekend. Dude, I about got burned to a crisp. Have you ever experienced a jet funny car flame out at the line? I don't know if you have, but I did. Dude, that is one of the few times I like ran from the situation. Ooh.
I need to see a video of you running.
You can see me holding the football.
I want to see a video of Lee running. That would just. But I think, Lee, talking about your picks, you did say that. No, I think one of us said that. I think you said Ron Capps, but I said the Super Body was going to get a win. So we were close there. I had Camry in the final round.
I said Erica would win.
Yeah, you did.
Close. I think I probably went with Steve Torrance too to win semifinal round appearance.
I legit think I had Justin.
I think you did.
I
think you did.
Yeah, and then
there's somebody like watching the last week's show right now to put in the comment section for us, and let me help you guys out. But on that, look, Ron Capps, what an impressive win to blow up in round one. A serious blow up, not just no little one, is a rather serious one. They turn it around, they have everything right, and they go on and they capture the Wally at the end of the day and in the Supra. And fabulous win for him. And then look, Aaron Stanfield cannot be overlooked. I know the talk has been Erica Enders, and rightfully so, but we should be talking overall Team Elite. I mean, other than the quads or the quad final round, has Team KB made one?
No.
Wow. I mean, wow. But
no.
Elite is pushing it because you've got Coughlin. I mean, when was the last time you heard of a crank letting go in a pro stock engine? And then you have Erica smoke showing in the final round. So they are letting it truly hang out. And it is fabulous to see.
Why would you not, Lee, at this point, did
you not turn your mic on in time? Was that take a drink worthy?
Fine, I'll drink Monster. I've got lemonade here too, but I'm not that thirsty.
Okay.
But why would you not, Lee? I mean, at this point, the Elite team, and they are a team, whether you like it or not. We learned that last year that they're a team. They work together. And if you don't like it, I mean, it's going to happen. So why would you not test that? You have the chance for Erica right now to win another championship. If she keeps doing what she's doing and what the team is doing, they are putting on a show. So why would you not go out and test stuff and send it to the moon and know, guess what? All right, you can't do that again. Or, hey, we need to look over this part or that part. And, I mean, why would you not?
Right. And then, you know, Pro Stock Motorcycle, the narrative is kind of flipped from this Steve Johnson, Matt Smith, who's going to be duking it out, to, you know, Slavoff steps up there and says, hey, there's more people in this class than just Matt Smith and Steve Johnson, and makes an argument and showcases that, again, Pro Stock Motorcycle, one of the most competitive, if not honestly the most competitive class in NHRA Camping World drag racing.
Yeah, I mean, I can't say I'm going to disagree with you there. Or, you know, we've all said that there's been different classes that we think are performing the best or doing or putting on the best shows, but across the board, they all have. I mean, look at this. I mean, you know, fear the stash, right? Hagen comes out with this look, this stash of this is me, this is who I am, and you're gonna like it and respect it and get to win. And then the next weekend he says, you know what, we're bringing back the stash again, and we're gonna have fun with it. I mean, giving out, you know, I think it was the first 500 plus people that came to their trailer got their own little mustache to wear. I mean, it's that kind of things. It's creating an atmosphere for people to come and enjoy it. And, you know, with him doing that, and then the narrative changed. Ron Capps is now the winner this week. You know, Toyota, 2 Toyota cars. You have Erica going to the final. I mean, again, we continue to talk about this week after week. When is Greg's, you know, chance to get that win coming? We've talked about when is the time and when is it going to happen, you know, for Steve Torrance to get that win. So there's just so many storylines that are developing and playing, and what if this and what if that. And I think as long as we continue to have these and continue to have these chances of, you know, 1, talking about them, and 2, seeing them unfold, I mean, it just makes for an epic year.
Sean Langdon and Coletta Motorsports so desperately needed what transpired this past Sunday.
More than just them, though. 100%. I think there was a few teams, like you said, Antron Brown. That team needed, you know, they needed that. There's just, like you said,
Leah Pruitt, a round win. I know it's only a round, and we honestly are expecting more from them, but maybe there's something trending in the right direction. She needed a round win. My boss, Doug Foley, making a statement again for these part-time teams that are aspiring to be more than part-time, comes out and picks up a round win over Clay Milliken, who is a week in, week out team.
Yeah, you just have to take, like Justin said, you know, you have to ride the wave of this sport. You can't just.
Tim Wilkerson, another team I think that was needing this type of performance, and things went his way, whereas other times this year the performance was there, yet he was against a car that performed just a little bit better, and he was at the wrong place at the wrong time type of situation. And a little bit of a shakeup to some extent. You know, the big two that were gaining steam lost a little bit of steam in Robert Height and Matt Hagen at Bristol, and Ron Capps is able to cut into the lead just a little bit.
Yeah, I mean, the storylines are unfolding. Coming into another race weekend here, looking forward to Norwalk. I just see more great performances and what people are going to do. I mean, if we talk about pro stock, I think Erica's even hungrier after, you know, going down in the smoke fest that she did there. I mean, I think that, you know, that's only going to make someone eager to go out and do it again. So, I mean, that storyline. Justin Ashley and Sean Langdon and Steve Torrance and Antron Brown and Leah Pruitt, Josh Hart. I mean, you know, the list goes on and on. You know, Austin Frost. You got a lot of names out there. Clay Milliken. You got a bunch of people out there that are saying, you know what, I'm still hungry. Even though you've seen, you know, the Monster car do great this year. You've seen the Pep Boys cars with the Salinas do great this year. So, I mean, there's a lot of people hungry. I think even when we go to Funny Car, you know, we've seen what Robert Hyde can do. We've seen what Matt Hagen can do. There's still people that are hungry, and you can't just, you know, you can't count out anyone, period. No matter what you think, no matter how you feel about it, there's someone out there that's still hungry for that advantage. And once they get it and they can control it, you never know what track is going to be provided for you. You know, NHRA and the Safety Safari do a great job at track prep, does a great job at preparing each facility as best as they can. And I think right now we're waiting to see what's going to happen next. There's no storyline that's already panned out and you can say this is going to happen like it was last year.
All right, let's get down to it, man, before we shut down the Power Hour. Picks for Norwalk.
You name the class, I'll tell you the pick.
Top Fuel.
Top Fuel, Norwalk, Antron Brown.
Solid pick. Solid pick. I am going to go with Steve Torrance again. He has got to get it done eventually. Going to go with Steve Torrance.
Okay.
Funny Car.
Funny Car, huh? You know what? This one's hard for me, but I'm gonna go my boy JR.
JR, I like it. A little bit of a turnaround story there. Okay. I think Cruz Petragon's going to have a good weekend. I'm going to go with Cruz Petragon. On to Pro Stock.
Can I just say Elite?
Can you just, yes, Elite. That would definitely increase the odds of your pick winning for sure. I will throw out my pick first on this one. I think we go to the Summit House and Troy Coughlin Jr. turns it around and creates a story and wins for Jegs with that yellow and black at the House of Red, White, and Blue.
Yeah, I like that. I want to stay with the Elite team, and I know I'm probably going to get some hate mail over this one, but in the House of the Red, White, and Blue, I'm going to go with the man, Mr. Greg Ammons.
Hey, that would be historic, 100th win in the Summit House. Such a long-standing sponsorship with him. They still actually do have their name on the car. So that would be a great storyline as well. And I know he'd love to get it done there. Erica, though, it's important to win at Norwalk because she has always expressed that that's kind of the race the Melling people can most closely come and experience and hang out. So it's important for her as well in the sponsorship world. So
yeah, and
there's a lot of those storylines there.
Yeah, and like I said, Lee, I mean, I'm writing down my picks, and I mean, and that's no hard feelings to Erica or anyone under the Elite camp. I mean, I know a lot of them, and we may chat, but that's no hard feelings towards anyone over there. I just think, you know what, we've toiled this mountain many times before, and I think, you know what, I mean, a big win there with a long-standing sponsorship, I think that would be a good storyline for the sport.
Pro Stock Motorcycle.
I know who I'm going with. You ready for this?
Sure.
I'm going pink.
And Angie Smith?
Mm-hmm.
Well, I'm going to go with another lady rider, and she gets over the emotions and some of the riding challenges she has been having, and she picks up the win there in Norwalk. That's Angel Sampay.
Not a bad pick at all. I mean, I think, you know, if like I said, if you look back and you read some of these stories that, you know, everyone is posting after the races, I think they're hard. You know, these drivers are hard on themselves. They express themselves. They're out there. So That's not a bad pick. That's a solid pick.
Pro modified.
Boom. I'm going with the new father, the band, my homeboy, Mr. Bearded Man himself, Mr. What's the name? Yingling Beer. I think, I don't know if you can really say this, but I think the new dad, like I said, the new dad, Daddy Lyle Barnett, he's hungry. He's going to do this one for his boy.
He is hungry. Another great storyline, that would be definitely a team that is capable, a driver that is capable. They've got the horses underneath that hood. But I saw Sidney Frigo testing after Virginia, and I am going to hang my hat on the Brazilian to get it done in the back country of Ohio, as it were.
Not a bad pick. And I want to set up this storyline too. I kind of want to see Tricky Ricky and oh my gosh, now I'm
Stevie
drawing a
Fast
blank.
Jackson.
Yeah, Stevie, Mr. Fast Jackson. I kind of want to see them, maybe in, qualifying or something, throw some money on the line and have a good old drag race. Because
Hey man,
heard last week.
Look,
If you heard last week,
have you been seeing all these call outs and Funny Car Chaos? It's been a lot of fun to have like the first 4 sets in qualifying be call outs, actually.
I like it.
Nothing wrong with that. It's cool.
Hey, why not? See what the track can hold.
That's right.
Right. Stevie, if you didn't go back last week, watch it, because Tricky Ricky called you out, said you ain't got nothing for him. So I think you need to call him out, make it public like you used to do with everybody else. Call him out, tell him you're going to gap train him. And Q1, sorry about your luck.
Sam, look, it's been a pleasure. This has been the Competition Plus Power Hour. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you, Bobby Bennett, for allowing us to do this. And it has been a pleasure to have each and every one of you watching along. Hit the like button for us as you head on out, because myself and Sam, we're going to do the same thing. Shut her down, Sam.
Yes, everybody, if you haven't done already, like Lee said, the Monday Morning Racer, go and check him out on all his platforms, social media, everywhere. Give him the like, thumbs up. If you guys haven't done already on this video, YouTube, wherever you're watching, please do that. We really appreciate you guys joining in with us every week, chit-chatting, as we say it, yakking it up about everything drag racing and motorsports too. The Bader family coming up here in Norwalk, we want to wish you guys a great weekend, successful weekend. To Bill Bader for coming on, to Justin Ashley and the Davis Motorsports team. Congratulations on that win. Congratulations to you guys, just well-deserved. To Bennett, thank you guys at Competition Plus for letting us yak it up. But guess what? I'm Slammin' Sam. Check me out on YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, wherever you want to do it. But please check me out, because tonight I'm checking out. I'm keeping the pedal to the metal. And don't forget, I'm hoping that the video game curse is not true. Let us know what you think in the comment sections below. Till next time, y'all. Peace.
NHRA Camping World Drag Racing Series made its triumphant return to Bristol Dragway on Father's Day weekend for the 2022 NHRA Thunder Valley Nationals, and once again, the action did not disappoint. In Nitro Funny Car, Ron Capps will be the first to score a win in the all-new Toyota GR Supra, putting together a dominating performance in eliminations by laying down low ET of every round of competition, including the only 3-second run of the day in the final round against Tim Wilkerson to capture his second win of the season and 70th of his amazing career. In the Pro Stock Final, it will be all elite all the time once again, as Erica Enders and Aaron Stanfield will face off in the final round for the third time this season, with Erica winning both of them. But in one of the craziest Pro Stock Finals in history, this one will go to Aaron, as Erica will blow a motor early in the run, allowing Stanfield to run away with Pro Stock win number 6 of his career and second of the year. In Pro Stock Motorcycle, after taking Virginia off with a broken toe, Jerry Savoy will bounce back big time in Bristol, defeating number 1 qualifier and red lighting Angel Sempe in the final round to score win number 14 of his career and first of the year. And finally, in Top Fuel Eliminator, after falling just short in the final round a few weeks ago in Epping, Justin Ashley in the Phillips Connect Top Fuel Dragster would get a little redemption in Bristol, taking down Sean Langdon in the final round to capture his second win of the year and fourth of his young career. And that, ladies and gentlemen, is a special fast-paced recap of the recently completed NHRA Thunder Valley Nationals from Bristol Dragway, brought to you by Competition Plus.